Islamic State once controlled an area that could span from Illinois to Virginia. But this is changing rapidly. ISIS has lost most of what it once controlled in Iraq. It remains in its urban stronghold of Mosul. But the militants were ousted from the eastern part of the city by Iraqi forces in late January. The battle for western Mosul is still ongoing. Similarly, in Syria, Islamic State's control of its de facto capital, Raqqa, is crumbling. Raqqa was once a symbol of the group's strength and a crucial part of its self-declared caliphate. A hub for IS leadership and their planning of overseas operations.
They've already accepted, more or less, that these cities are going to fall, and they've prepared for that.
So what does the fall of these cities mean for ISIS? And will they bring their fight closer to the West? For one, losing territory affects their ability to raise finance.
A large proportion of the money that they were generating was extracted from the population that they governed. So taxes, fines, expropriation of property, and as the income from that they gain from the population, as that reduces, oil revenue will become more important.
ISIS is now moving commanders and fighters from its strongholds to defend its holdings in the province of Deir ez-Zor, near 3 major oil fields that hold Syria's most significant reserves.
Islamic State's income from oil has actually reduced significantly by about 73% from the height back in 2015 to our latest assessment last year, where they made $9 million a month on average from oil. So it is still a significant source of income.
The money they make is vital to funding their affiliates abroad, according to jihadist comments in online chat rooms. Western officials suspect they spread the wealth using cash couriers and informal money transfers called hawalas. The group's ability to launch international attacks is essential to its image as a terror group with global reach. Islamic State's known affiliates span from Boko Haram in Nigeria to Abu Sayyaf in the Philippines. A great part of their image and legitimacy has also been based on their ability to seize and control territory. But the extremist group itself has acknowledged that not much may be left of its caliphate soon.
They've changed their messaging to say that this is a test from God and that eventually they will achieve victory against the unbelievers. However, we're also seeing a couple of interesting things. The Islamic State was essentially bragging that its older fighters and commanders were now volunteering a lot more frequently to engage in suicide missions. And this suggests that these commanders are starting to see that they're going to get defeated, but are still choosing death over defeat.
But I'm going to meet my master who ordered me to do what I'm supposed to do. We all must wake up to fight for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without jihad, there's no Islam.
Islamic State's former spokesman, who was killed in an airstrike in August, released a speech last May to prepare and also rouse followers, saying defeat wouldn't be in losing ground.
They are saying that so long as jihadism as an idea exists, then they have not been properly defeated.
Experts say the group will return focus to its terrorist roots by directing, supporting, or inspiring attacks. Most recently, ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack at a concert in Manchester that killed at least 22 people, including children. And so far this year, the group has been linked to more than a dozen terrorist attacks. The large number of recruits and sympathizers abroad poses a big challenge to counter-terrorism operations.
One of the things that is particularly telling is the number of people who have committed terrorist attacks in the West who have subsequently been identified as having been on the watch lists of various European state agencies. What this tells us is not that the Europeans are doing a bad job. It tells us that the number of potential recruits who are willing to commit acts of violence is so high that it is almost impossible for the state security apparatus to keep track of all of them.